Hello everyone, I'm Wheelman and we're back for more challenges in Ghost Recon Wildlands. So the first challenge this week is to kill 3 Santa Blanca veterans in a row without being visually detected. Now this was a little weird because the veterans are these guys with the circle and 2 lines above their head. I actually hadn't heard them referred to as veterans before. Nomad in-game usually refers to them as captains. This guy was actually the first one that I found, and I just went through and double-checked to make sure that, yes, he was a captain, it did advance my progress. So I thought, hey, I know where there's a ton of these guys. Up in Barvechos on the mission Nydia Flores. I came up here, I killed my 2 guys, and I waited for my challenge to finish. And that's when I found out that these guys don't actually count. So instead, I came over to the Montauk province with the intention of going to the training base. It was also there that I remembered that the solo challenges and the task force challenge this week don't have a difficulty requirement. So I went ahead and turned the difficulty down to arcade. There's really no sense making this harder than it has to be. So from Montauk Bravo, it's a short flight over towards the training base. There are a few anti-aircraft sites in the area, however, as long as you don't fly directly over the base, you should be fine. There are 2 regular enemies in this area, one in the tower itself, and the other one likes to hang around in the tent down below. After you take out both of them, you're clear to head up into the tower. From up in the tower, you can actually get line of sight on the jammer that's in the base. One shot from an HTI sniper rifle is enough to take it down. Everyone in the base freaks out about the explosion for a little, but after a minute or so they remember, oh, this is Bolivia, stuff is exploding all the time, this is nothing to worry about. Now, strictly speaking, you don't have to destroy the jammer, but it's just nice to have unrestricted use of your drone. I also know for a fact that there is another captain farther up in the base, but I couldn't spot him. Since I only needed 2, I didn't put too much effort into trying to find the other guy. However, if you do need all 3, you can quit the game, restart, come back, and these guys will have respawned. Another nice thing about this area is you can use your sync shot. You can get all of the enemies at once, and no one else in the base is any wiser.
I'm moving to position. I've got the target.
Now, as I get the last kill for Challenge 1 here, I would like to say that since Challenge 2 and the Task Force Challenge are related to one another, I have combined the 2 of them into one section of the video. So Solo Challenge 2 is deploy to Romanzo Bravo, then complete the mission The Real El Gato, while killing only from 150 meters or further. And the Task Force Challenge is to kill El Gato with a sniper shot from 250 meters or further. Now, you have to deploy to Romanzo Bravo to progress the challenge. However, after you're there and you start the mission, you can go to Romanzo Alpha and you'll be right next to the mission area. Now, there is actually a lot to cover in this section of the video. The solo challenge says, while killing only from 150 meters or further. Now, I thought this meant that you had to kill El Gato from 150 meters. But what it actually means is that if you want to kill anyone in this area, it has to be from over 150 meters away. Now when you get to this area, there are 2 guys hiding in this burned out house over here, and El Gato is in this structure on top of the pipes. You can kind of see the wheels turning in my head here when I realize, okay, this is going to be pretty cool. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is throughout this video I have been using the Desert Tech HTI sniper rifle. It's unlocked through tier mode at tier 40, and I've been using it because it has the highest penetration of any sniper rifle in the game. Now, it's not a big deal if you haven't reached tier 40 yet. You can use the MSR or the standard HTI, and it should work just fine. I actually almost get spotted by Unidad here. It seems like they're always trying to ruin my fun. So just be careful as you climb onto the pipe. I didn't test it, but I'm pretty sure that you would die if you fell off of it. So as you'll see in just a moment, the reason that I chose the HTI is because I will have to shoot through this wall. There's just not enough room to move over far enough to get the shot through the door. And from the ground level, there is no line of sight through the door. Now, the last thing that I wanted to talk about before I take the shot is that I remove my suppressor. Suppressors in Ghost Recon Wildlands do not increase the ballistic drop like they do in a game like Battlefield 4, but a suppressor will decrease the bullet speed by half, meaning it will take a suppressed round twice as long to reach its target as an unsuppressed one. So after a lot of crouch walking, you're finally ready to go. However, there are a lot of things complicating this shot. You can see in this other video that I took that the red panel in front of me has a number of barrels behind it. The guy actually hides behind it a little bit later, and I don't understand why I can't shoot through it because I haven't seen it yet. In the room, there's this table that he likes to stand at, and this row of valves. Both of these things combined make me believe that this is the only angle from which you can make this shot. So with all of that information in hand, the only thing left to do is try the shot. There is an element of luck involved. I actually miss several times before I can actually take him down. So after you kill him, the task force challenge is complete, but you actually have to go in and identify the body to complete solo challenge 2. I did take a few shots on the people that I could see, but I mostly used the rebel diversion to clear out the area. So here, Weaver just starts creeping up on me. He's like, "Hey boss, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Dude, Weaver, personal space, man." Eventually, it'll be clear enough to start moving up. You do still need to be careful, because a couple of times my squad said, "Hey, it's all clear," and clearly it was not. As soon as you go inside and scan the body, the mission will be complete, and so will the challenge.
Bowman, this is Nomad. We've got another possible kill in Elgato. Sending biometric data now.
Got it. Stand by while I run it through the program. Hot damn, it's a match. Good work, Nomad. Elgato's finally run out of lives. People have been trying to take this asshole down for a long...
So on to the final challenge. In extreme difficulty, and without being visually detected, deploy to Caymanas Alpha and complete the mission, El Cerebro. First of all, make sure you set yourself to extreme difficulty before you fast travel. I just want to say up front that I hate this mission. Like, with a passion, I hate this mission. Not only is it incredibly long, but there are 2 jammers, 4 or 5 alarms, and dozens of enemies along the way. In all of the times that I've played it, I never managed to get through it quietly. Until today. As soon as you spot this guy, he'll get in his car and start driving. Just stay behind him about 100 meters and follow him to the next objective. When you see him pull a hard right, stop, get out, and deal with the first jammer. Just like the first challenge, you can shoot the jammer. The guys in the area will be alerted, but they will eventually go back to what they were doing. Once the jammer is down, you can find your real prize, which is the generator over here. Shutting down that generator will disable every alarm and the remaining jammer. Now I figured on my way over here, if anybody was to spot me, it was going to be the snipers, so I used a sync shot to take them both down. I actually tried a couple of different times to snipe the generator from across the river, but ultimately I had to go and disable it manually. Once you're across the river, use your rebel spotting and your sync shot to take out as many enemies that come into the area as you can. I actually almost got spotted by a guy right here who wasn't marked. I assumed that he wandered in from a different area.
Spotted one with submachine guns.
Target acquired.
The very last guy in this area didn't seem to want to leave the building, so I snuck over to the generator to turn it off. With the last jammer gone, I was finally able to get a drone up and over where El Cerebro is hiding. You can kind of see me planning my route around the backside of the island here. Now, coming up is something that I don't see a lot of people talk about. It's a mechanic that I'm not sure that everyone knows, but in an area that is this dense with enemies, the AI, or whatever is controlling all of the enemies in the area, will notice gaps in the defenses. What this means is you can kill enemies that are guarding the perimeter, and the AI will send more enemies out to close that gap.
Hey, we got a narco in the firing post.
Right here, there are about 8 enemies inside the house with El Cerebro,
Roger.
but these 2 enemies out here are safe to kill.
Roger that. Target copy. Target marked. Got one.
Every time I killed the guys who were hanging out by this shack, the game would just send more of them in. So you can use this to your advantage to whittle down the enemies in the area without alerting anyone else.
Let me find a good position. Target acquired. Standing by. Roger. Target acquired. That tango's down.
This also happens near the water tower in the backyard.
Roger that. Target marked.
And at the base of the sniper tower near the front.
Roger that. Target marked. Target acquired.
Now, these last 2 guys up in the building, they didn't seem to want to move. So the next time the guys started coming outside, I took my opportunity to run over and grab him.
Gotcha.
My apologies. I think you can see why I might...
Just like that, I grab him and we start dragging him off.
This is a disturb...
I decided to be a little extra cautious and take him in the smaller helicopter. It was a little farther away, but I was concerned that if I took the big one nearby, someone would notice. But yeah, after that, it's smooth sailing to the extraction point. So that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it. These take a lot of time to make. So for the outro, please enjoy this video of Ghost hanging in midair off the back of my Humvee.